Oh wait, I don't need these. Okay, I'll put these back on. Do I need these? Hey! Hi! Just talking to myself. So I was going to use the Tarot Apocalypsis and the Spirit Keeper's Tarot to do some things, and I was like, you know what? I'm not necessarily feeling like a headache right now, so I'm not. Let's not do that. Instead, I'm going to be running through spreads that I built on here, and videos that are titled "Build with Me," something, something, blah 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 blah. But I'm going to be doing an abridged version, like what I did with the combination between the Angel Spread and the Baron Spread. And the video, it probably had a title something about remembering or remembrance. Here we go. Okay. Let me make sure I can still read them. Oh, this is a lie. Maybe I should have thought ahead. Got out the gingerbread. I made sweet, sweet treats for him to eat. I made Santa milk and cookies. Open the kid and real good nookie. I don't know why milk and cookies just popped into my head, but y'all need to leave Santa Claus alone. He is married. Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't heard that. That hasn't popped into my head in a while. I made Santa milk and cookies. Okay. How are y'all doing? I guess I should start this. How y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well. Good, whatever, whenever you come across this video. I'm going to be running through, like I said, spreads that I built on either this channel or the other one. And I'll get one of these tea leaves to start it off. This is a lot of cards. And then Tint. What's this about? Temporary situation. Okay, so we got a temporary situation over here with the cracked cup at the bottom of the deck. Dissatisfied with life. So whatever this dissatisfaction with life you're currently experiencing, these cards say it's temporary. Which means that something's going to change or happen, right? I think sometimes, too, we kind of sort of reach, not a breaking point, but it is a breaking point, where we decide enough is enough and we're going to do something to make our lives different, to make our lives better, to take advantage of the moment and the opportunity. The empty chair was probably already turned up. The two cards that came out are Forest and Well. So the Forest takes me back to the Forest in the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And the Forest had a story of something along the lines of there's the mist was rolling in, the fog was rolling in to the forest. A forest that was already super dense and hard to navigate was going to get even more difficult because the fog was going to come in and mess with our ability to perceive things around us. Maybe if you hold out your hand in front of your face, fog so thick you can't even see it, so you can't even really perceive it yourself. But those who navigate out of the forest, out of the fog before it lifts, will come into a space of mastery. Now, the Forest and the Well, along with the cracked cup and the Tent, temporary dissatisfaction with life, it's like in the space of that forest, you actually find something that you were wanting or wishing for. And here's the sunrise. That is clarity coming into that situation now. That was previously sort of, it was hard to get some kind of clarity because it was so foggy. And this sunrise, it's reflective of the sunrise on the inside. The only way to see through the fog is to have that internal clarity. And again, yesterday, the crow, the golden egg, and the elephant that guards it, or whatever it's titled, it came through. I forgot what I was going to say. But there's the golden egg that we have to gain because the Hierophant. Hey, Mimi! A Hierophant is falling apart. The system, it's been overloaded. It can't keep up with everything now, and it's kind of sort of reached critical failure. This took me somewhere yesterday, but this is why sometimes I need to talk less. Okay. I read after that you said you're going to listen as you clean. But that's what this was. And we have it all to gain. I really don't know what I was going to reference from that video. Forrest says, oh, muddied, unclear thinking. Okay, yeah. So, look here. Muddied, unclear thinking. The well is family wishes come true. Family wishes. Did I say family wishes? Oh, let me switch. Let me put these on. I need my near threes for this. Because I think I'm reading family wishes. Family wishes come true. New creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. What are family wishes? Maybe if there's some wishes that you have that would more so affect like generational wealth or your ability to establish generational wealth. Family could be, you could be wishing for a family to come together, right? Maybe there's someone special that you found in the space of, maybe you found love in a hopeless place, right? Ain't that what Rihanna said? And she a Pisces, so you know she right. I'm just playing. Is that like kind of sort of a we found love in a hopeless place? Maybe also your family, pre-existing family dynamic is strengthening or getting better in some way. Next is the elephant. Oh my gosh. I still can't remember what I was going to say about that video. But the elephant is coming out with the older man. The elephant says, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And the older man is dealings or a relationship with an older man. Maybe this is going to turn you into an older man, or it's going to give you the energy of an older man. Or maybe you're already in the space of the older man, but you're going to get even wiser. It's like you think you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge now. Like, imagine what you still have yet to gain by this. And older man energy is different than older woman energy in it's like this deck. I love that it talked to me, but sometimes it don't stop. That scared me. Chain just came out. I feel like older woman carries advice that's more related to your intuition. Or it's like more of an intuitive nature. Older man, it's like older woman energy is feeling more internal. And her journey was trusting her intuition. But older man is more external. And his journey is more learning from his environment. And so maybe you're sitting in a space of the older man thinking that you've learned pretty much all there is to know about the world around you. But the elephant is taking you, it's sort of opening up your eyes to the things that you don't yet see. And then the chain, I might as well put these back on. Goodness. I don't want to be looking like this though the whole time. I can remedy that by doing this. Hey. Now I can look as crazy as I want to look. I'm just playing. The chain is a chain of events that will affect your life. So yeah, it's definitely putting you in a position to mature a lot and to sort of see the world through a new lens. Also, older energy in general is less concerned with what people think. And so Yeah, it's like been there, done that. I ain't doing that as much no more. It's like I lived my whole life caring what people thought about me. It kept me from doing a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to do. I ain't doing that no more. It's done and through. It's over with. It only leads to heartbreak because you can't please everybody. And maybe that's also the wisdom of the elders. I also talked about the elders yesterday. Um, it's like the young getting the wisdom from the elders, but the elders sort of Eight of Swords and Eight of Wands. Ooh, that's two very contrasting and interesting energies. The old elders, it's like they don't lose touch with reality in the sense of like things always being, well, back in my day, back in my day, back in my day. And it's like, okay, but we're not in that day anymore. So, and when you integrate those two energies, it gives you an ability to apply wisdom to your current situation. And so it modifies it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull off the top of both of these, and I'm going to run through these spreads. And then we'll just see what's up real quick, and then I'll be done for today. I realized after I ended the video, I didn't finish saying what I was saying about, I didn't finish talking about what I was talking about, as far as me not really reading myself that much anymore. So I got the deck. The affirmators, love and relationship cards, and I pulled a few cards for myself, and the cards that came out were all about, one of them was like clean slate, another one, it was something about when you meet someone new, like all of the things that you discover about them, and then the other one also carried an energy of newness with it. But it was the two new things and then the clean slate. And that had basically, by that point, I had already had a dream about that one dude who I never got to know. So I was already in this space and already thinking about how I don't know, it's hard for me to put into words what I've released. But like it feels like control, but it doesn't. It feels like I was holding on to something that I just decided to let go of. And I don't know, I can't define it. It's hard. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I got for myself personally. So while I didn't pick from that, I had already pulled some cards for myself. So, and I was like, okay, so this is confirming that I just need to get over myself, basically. And it's not necessarily getting over myself, but it is. I need to allow the world and people the time to catch up. I don't want to say it like that, but just basically have more patience, be more understanding. You know, things aren't going to transpire if you put pressure on it. So, stuff like that. So, the first one is the Manticore Spread. Ooh, started with the Three of Swords. Starting with the Three of Swords with that full card. Ooh, these are such interesting energies. The Fool and the Ten of Wands, 0 and 10. The Three of Swords, the Ace of Cups. Oh, the Daughter of Cups. Okay, that makes sense. And the Nine of Cups. As I was talking about that well that we found in the forest when things were muddied and unclear. And then the Tulip came out, which says great passion. Oh, wow. So this first one here, I'll read y'all the little blurbs that I got because I'm going to read them. So this is around the energy of the Ace of Swords and Death. The Ace of Swords is Quetzalcoatl, and Death is Death in this deck. I looked up the Manticore, and so the little blurbs I have is potential for self sabotage, misleading or riddly energy, multifaceted issues, ego/primal instinct, the birth of new possibilities, revelations that lead to reflection, and surgical excision. Surgical excision is the energy of cutting something out, but very precisely. Because, oops, you can't see the tulip. Hold up. Because this ain't even like, let me adjust this. Because I think it may have changed a little bit. It did. I moved the table. So, there we go. There we go. That's a little nicer. There we go. There we go. Okay. Surgical excision, because it's like if you start cutting out stuff recklessly, then you may cause more damage. And maybe there was a point where we were a little, maybe we didn't take as much responsibility in a situation that we could have. And so it led us to cut out something. And then later we get a little bit of clarity and we're like, oh, what did I do? But now you see it, right? Can I move this back up now? Okay. So, the area of grace is the Three of Swords. And I love that. The area of grace is where we need to be patient and lenient with ourselves. So if we did cut something out, even if not, it's just this area, it's this energy of needing to understand that we've gone through the things that we've gone through. And that in some ways everyone has baggage. And you're not necessarily damaged. You've just gone through what you've gone through. And we need to be kinder to ourselves because of it. And to not beat ourselves up. And to not, like, essentially make things worse. So I'm going to try to be, I'm going to timestamp these, actually. So, bear with me, y'all, please, because I'm going to do a few of them. So if you want to pick a spread, check the description box for the titles, and then click to that one. I don't know. Oh no. The Manticore Spread. 18:18. So here we go. Alright, I think that's 18. I probably should have left the other ones on. Yeah, it is. Okay, so the Manticore Spread, again, I'll read through it a little bit because I came up with the timestamp after. The themes here are potential for self-sabotage, misleading or riddly energy, multifaceted issues, ego/primal instinct, the birth of new possibilities, revelations that lead to reflection, and surgical excision. And the area of grace that we need to have with ourselves is the Three of Swords. Basically understanding that the things that we've gone through and experienced, and they don't necessarily define us. In some ways, they only define us as much as we allow them to. So if you tell yourself that you're broken or you're damaged because of what's happened to you, then that's something that in some ways you're doing to you, albeit because of what's happened to you, but you're doing to you. And with this, it's like you need to give yourself some grace. Like, that's not all that you are. There's so much more. So the perceived outcome to this is the Fool. Or like the best case scenario. And I think I know why the Ten of Wands is out. But also why the Ace of Cups is here. Because it's like with the Fool card, there's this energy of trying to move on from something before you've healed from it. And then the monsters of your own making in this situation, it's the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, it becomes this thing that you're trying to constantly get and attain, but it's almost constantly out of reach because of all of these things that you haven't dealt with. It's like you're trying to move on without handling and addressing any of the burdens and blockages. And it impacts your ability to attain this Ace of Cups or obtain it. And so the Daughter of Cups is coming in as a little bit of TLC that you need to give to yourself. Hey, Zelda. It's coming in as a little bit of TLC that you need to give to yourself despite everything. So despite everything that's happened to you, this is you learning to love yourself regardless. And then as you do that, it puts you in a position to then begin to receive and experience what you want to receive and experience that becomes your way out of this situation entirely. And great passion with the tulip is the tea leaf fortune card when it comes to this. And great passion, it's almost coming in under the space of like, it's something that you like a lot. It's like it begins to motivate you because it validates you in some ways. It helps you validate yourself. And it's something that has the grace and the patience, I guess, to get you to begin to have that for you. Oh, snap. Well, hopefully you get everything that you need to get to give to that someone what you need to give. No problem, Zelda. Where does tulip be? And it feels like something, honestly, it feels like something that gives you permission to just like love yourself more fully. And you don't need permission from anybody to do that. But it's nice to receive that and to be able to receive it. Maybe in the past you weren't able to receive it because of the burdens that you carried with you, that maybe there's a little bit of an Eight of Swords energy you never really fully saw. And so what it did is it made things a lot heavier than they had to be. Too heavy for one cup. This is 10 wands and only one cup. But numerologically, they're the same. So within you, insert great passion, you have to somehow turn that 10 of wands into an Ace of wands. Something outside of you helped you do that, or helped you see, pushed you to the point where you had to be okay with that. And then when you consolidate it down to the Ace of Wands, and you have this Ace of Cups, now it holds this synergy that maybe it had sometimes, but it wasn't capable of maintaining. But it will be now. And I don't know the full song, but because I knew you from Wicked, just popped into my mind. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good, right? So, tulip. It says, great passion. A beautiful tulip appears in front of the querent. Oh, I need more light. There we go. A beautiful tulip appears in front of the querent. Its petals are tinged with various shades of red and yellow. This symbol indicates that you will feel great passion during the time frame shown. There's no time frame shown, so soon. It could be passionate love, passionate hate, or a passionate zeal for some cause. Hopefully it ain't no passionate hate. Can we leave that behind? Well, again, I feel like congested. And I feel like I can hear it echoing in my ears. Um, Again, it's all based on how much grace we give ourselves with that three of swords, right? It's like sometimes we aren't able to forgive or to get over. Sometimes we feel so impacted that it hardens and it twists and it poisons our own heart. The hatred that we hold for someone else. And then that takes a whole dark and twisted turn that I'm not going down. If that's your life, you go find something that resonates for that, because I'm checking out. But it's bringing healing to all of that stuff in the past, and it's beginning to see all of the ways that you acted and reacted and behaved because of the things that you were holding on to that you were just trying to free yourself of without doing anything to really handle it or resolve it. But once you do, things start to line up beautifully. And it'll really take you out of that space in a way that you don't have to revisit it as much as you do in the current moment. Oh, there's that Seven of Cups. Ooh. The skull. Yeah, this one is a little darker, but that's fine. I'm gonna timestamp this one up. Timestamp it up. Let's see. The Angel Spread, 26:59. I would have just said 27, but I already said 26. So, Angel Spread. The themes here are handicraft, challenging the gods, victory that leads to despair, grief, perfected creation, and metamorphosis. So, remember how I talked about consolidating that ace or that 10 of wands down into an ace of wands? We're starting with the daughter of wands, who has done that. Her foundation being the 7 of cups in the past, that space of not being able to make certain trauma-free choices and decisions. Being challenged in some ways to go beyond your past, but not being able to because of the hurt that you continue to carry. And so we've done this. There was some element of passion that you found. And then you get challenged by spirit with a sort of separation or with some event that leaves you. It's almost like it puts you right back where you used to be. It triggers the train. It triggers the hurt and the pain. And then it's like it falls on you to, in that space, learn to care for yourself in a way that maybe you never did before. Maybe you didn't have the capacity to before. And the end result is the Son of Pentacles, which is that Knight of Pentacles energy, which is like you navigating this. It's you learning self-love and self-care in ways that aren't as distractive or destructive as previous coping mechanisms. It's you learning how to cope in a healthier way, basically. But with the Son of Pentacles, what it's also doing is it's giving you this unshakable foundation where moving forward into the future, you can experience hurt, pain, and setbacks, and it not trigger you all the way back into that completely hurt, distraught, devastated space you were in, carrying that Three of Swords that turned into the 10 of Wands burden. But here, in this spread, this is the card, like, this is us feeling confident. This is how we get challenged. And in this one, it's not necessarily meant to be easy. this we sort of get a little confident, or maybe a little overly confident, and it's an energy that can be interpreted as spirit coming in to knock you down a peg, or life coming, the universe coming, someone in your environment coming to knock you down a peg and remind you of who you are. Like, you could take it that way, or you could take it as an opportunity for you to cement and to actually put into your foundation, again with the Son of Pentacles earth energy, what it is that you're now proud of. In the skull, excuse me, I'm gonna have to grab some water, y'all. Ooh. Maybe I'm talking too much. It feels like there's something in my throat. It's like, it's not back. Oh, well, there it goes. It's gone now. And I kind of got to blow my nose a little bit. This right nostril is feeling a little congested. But it felt like something that was like, see, it's back. Oh my gosh. It's like positioned perfectly in my throat to make it difficult to clear. Like, it's not back far enough to clear, and it's not close enough to just be like, so like a light cough and a deep cough. Oh wait, well, that was it. I guess I just needed a deeper cough. LOL. But I'm also not trying to damage my vocal cords by trying to clear this. So there's something that needs to be cleared that's, I don't know. The skull here, though, its hidden secrets can harm you. Excuse me. But I'm not necessarily sure. I don't want to say, I don't know, this. I'll read it and then we'll see. Maybe those are things that you keep from yourself. This Five of Pentacles, you're feeling good. You get challenged. The Five of Pentacles comes in to challenge this new foundation, this new passion that you have. And if you become this wilted, oh my gosh, look at this. I didn't even catch that. The tulip and then the wilted rose. Girl, she died. She did. She can still be recovered. You know, flower, gleam, and glow. Let your powers shine. Make the clock reverse. Bring back what once was mine. Tangled. Heal what has been hurt. Change the fate's design. Whatever. I don't remember it. I always misremember it. But what's actually, like, it's illuminating even more to you. Like, there was some healing that you did. Yes. You're feeling good. You're feeling great. Yes. There's a little bit more to do, and you need to cement this healing. You need to cement and really establish within your foundation this new thing to the point where you can encounter difficulty and not, it's not that you're not going to be upset at all, but it shouldn't cause you to run towards whatever not that great coping mechanism you had that had you carrying around all this baggage for this long in the first place, where you didn't know that you were carrying it, or you didn't know it was as heavy as it's proven itself to be. And the hidden secrets that can harm you, that's you continuing to not see, not handle, not face, not address these things. It will continue to harm you. And what you have to gain in this is the Knight of Pentacles, able to move forward steadily without experiencing this complete, like, I feel like I'm back at the starting line. I feel like I got to start all over type of energy. Skull. The skull is, where is it? Here's the shield skull. Let's go here where I got some light. Hidden secrets can harm you. A nightmarish skull leers tauntingly at the querent. The skull knows secrets that the querist. Sorry, I'm gonna switch these. I should have just turned my light on. but I don't feel like getting up now. I'm gonna just look crazy. Hidden secrets can harm you. A nightmarish skull leers tauntingly at the queerest. The skull knows secrets the queerest does not want revealed. This symbol advises you to take care. Secrets may be revealed that could be very harmful to you. I feel like personally, though, this is a you to you situation unless you are trying to engage with a situation or somebody else where you're not healed from these things and you're reacting in a way that it airs your trauma, basically. And then more and more people they start seeing it. And what it does is it becomes your undoing. The more you don't deal with it, the more you interact and react from this space. It's like the more people see it. And it's not that people seeing it is bad, but it's like people are seeing something that you're refusing to address. And it's like if you were addressing it, it wouldn't be that bad. Because then the trauma response would be diminishing, it would be lowering, it wouldn't be as extreme. But it turns into this thing where you're carrying around this baggage that it's not on anyone else to carry. And you may find some people in your environment who are more than willing to be patient and to be understanding, but eventually we all have a breaking point that we reach. And I mean, it needs to be let go of. Like, this isn't necessarily your ordinary run-of-the-mill everyday baggage. This baggage is kind of severe, or it impacts you in some very heavy ways that it doesn't necessarily need to. Not as light and bright, but it's like once you work through this, then you come into some great stuff. That golden egg stuff. So next is the Headless Spread. I think I only got 2 left. And then I'll be done. I guess that's connected. The Headless Spread, 37:25. So let's get into this one. Now this is the one that I gotta do, interestingly, because I don't have enough space on the table. On the table. There's that devil energy. Oh, goodness. With the moon. And the 2 of Swords. Okay. So the devil is blocking the 2 of Swords. This is impacting your ability to make choices and decisions. Holding on to this is not great. It ain't great. It ain't great. These are some interesting energies. So we got the devil and the 2 of Swords in the middle. Y'all can't even see these down here because I'm in the way. I can remedy that. Bam. So, it's not the devil and the 2 of Swords in the middle isn't great, but on one side you have the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands, which is putting the work into establishing something amazing. Great. On the other side, it's the Son of Cups with the 10 of Pentacles. But there's Piscean energy in the Moon and in the Hangman on both of these. Piscean energy, it's great for dreaming, not necessarily the best at actualizing and realizing those dreams. Sometimes it just stays in the world of fantasy. With this devil card, it's this it's a mental prison type of energy. It's where the creativity and the world of fantasy that the Pisces lives in, it turns dark and it's used against them. So it creates these illusions that you feel that you can't escape from. So you don't take an exit. The first space is an immobilization feeling, and it's the devil card. The 8th one is the desire. Eighth one is the desire. So the devil card is blocking. I feel like it's an ability to make balanced choices and decisions with that Two of Swords, honestly. And it's like you're feeling trapped, you're feeling immobilized, it's feeling helpless. You feel like things are just not progressing or not great. But what isn't helping is you continuing to cope in the ways that you've been coping. What isn't going to help is you continuing to ignore and suppress what you've been ignoring and suppressing. And this could be, at this point, it could be us collectively, or it could be you in your personal life, and or both. And so your dream, this is so interesting. What's interesting about this is like your desire, according to this, your desire is the Two of Swords. It's an ability to make healthy, balanced, informed choices. And your dream slash vision of freedom is the Eight of Pentacles. Like you just want to be able to, it's again, it's going back to that Knight of Pentacles, that is that steady effort and progress. That was the higher outcome after navigating the challenge. It's the gift that you get from going through the hardship. It's like it's what you want. And what's interesting to me is that like there's a Ten of Pentacles on the table and a Four of Wands on the table, but they're not in the space of this dream or the desire. This is something that you want to build and something that you want to create. Maybe there's a sense of accomplishment that you desire that will come, or it's like you wanting to know that you're capable of making your desires a reality. It's like, I don't want you to give it to me. I want to be able to get it for myself type of energy. I forgot to pull a tea leaf card, and the rat is what came out. Someone working against you behind your back. I feel like the someone working against you behind your back is you in this case and scenario, with the devil energy being the immobilization feeling. Because, again, it may be a lack of you actually handling the things instead of finding ways to cope with them that don't really serve you, that just keep you stuck where you are. Again, the hidden secrets, that's you not facing these things, but it's like it's an open secret. It's like everyone else can tell because of the way that you respond and react to situations and scenarios, but you yourself refuse to see it. Now, if these aren't you, maybe this is a past energy for you. Maybe this is something that you used to do. And I'll just say take it as it resonates. I'm not going to try to do gymnastics for you. So the big break with this is a Four of Wands. And again, this is interesting because it goes back to that first one where it feels like there's something or someone that can accept you in ways that you're struggling to accept yourself. And so maybe trauma response, there's an initial falling apart because of all of the secret hidden baggage that you carry within you that causes higher aligned relationships to fall apart, that maybe trigger you into thinking or feeling that you're not good enough, which isn't necessarily the case, but as long as you're convinced that it is the case, then you won't be. This isn't a world card, but it's like in some way you've been able to experience what your life can be like, free of that hurt and free of that pain. It's like a brief snapshot. And what's interesting is that when you get this, it puts you into this Fool energy. But again, so like maybe you go with it for a minute. You go with it as long as you can go before the past or whatever you haven't dealt with and handled and addressed becomes a blockage with that Ten of Wands. And that's the hidden secret that harms that. It's like you're in a space where you want to be that Fool, and you can be for as long as you can be, for as long as your self-love or whatever allows. But then eventually all of those thoughts and feelings and fears and restrictions and limitations, trauma responses, they come. And they were absent for a hot minute, but they come back because, again, like it's something that you hadn't fully addressed. Or with that Five of Pentacles into the Son of Pentacles, they resurface for you to, like I said in the last one, like you can be critical. You can ask questions. And if it's meant to be, it should be able to assuage. I think that's the word I want. Those fears and those worries and concerns. It should be able to prove to you that it is not your past, that it is indeed part of your future or something that, at least, at the very least, part of your present. That your worries and fears are, while valid because of what you've been through, they're not needed in this particular situation because this case is not what it used to be. Either way, it gives you the opportunity to work through those things. Now, the message from the divine here is the Moon card. So the divine may be a little silent in this situation. Because it's almost like, I mean, if this is the case, if this is resonating for you, what can the divine say? It's like, hey girl, you need to address the baggage. Hey dude, you need to solve this little mystery you got in your own life. You need to Scooby-Doo and find out that the monster is you. It's almost like there's nothing more that the divine can really say. That's why I feel like maybe you're like, oh, the divine is quiet. I need guidance. I need assistance. I need this. I need that. And the divine is like, you just need to do the stuff that we've been kind of sort of trying to guide you to do for a minute now. You need to forgive yourself, forgive others, let it go, heal, move on. And it's difficult, but don't let the difficulty of it put you in a space to not do it to the point where you're forfeiting these things that you've been asking for with that Nine of Cups that popped out wherever it popped out in position 6 of the first spread. And so the message that you receive is the Ten of Pentacles. The action that you take, however, is the Hanged Man. So you see the Ten of Pentacles. You see all of what Spirit has been trying to get you to see. Because again, with this Four of Wands, it feels like a little bit of a preview of what awaits you after this healing has been done. Or it's what you are capable of manifesting into your life when you allow yourself to be open and free and to receive it. And so you're getting maybe these messages that that thing that you saw is for you, but the action that you're putting into it is nothing. It's the Hangman. It's you just waiting, because that's what divine timing is. I don't got to be petty like that. Divine timing isn't necessarily just you waiting for things to happen. It's you needing to make the things happen on your end while things are happening on the other end. And it takes me back to the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, sorry, and the Tarot Apocalypsis. And I can't remember what I titled that video because I can't remember if I could think of a title for that video. But in the Nine of Cups, it was like there were 6 cups on the wall that were framed separate. So we've gone through our past and we've healed from it. We're no longer looking at it through rose-tinted glasses or with shades. We've taken the nostalgia and the trauma out of it. We can process it more fully and completely and wholly for what it was. Maybe seeing things now that we've healed that we weren't able to see because it didn't support the narrative of the past that we were running with. And then there were 3 more cups. There was the cup that was being filled. What you say? Action, reaction. Got to make something move in order to set something else in motion. Exactly. There was a cup that was being filled with by the attendant, and then there were 2 cups on 2 different end tables or 2 different side tables, and both side tables had an X on it. One of the cups was on the X, so one of the cups was on its mark. The other one wasn't. And there was also an Ace of Cups. And I was like, as soon as that 9th cup finds its mark, boom, you're going to have 10 of Cups. And I think on one hand, while it can sometimes be something that maybe in the moment we're not wanting for whatever reason. And so we sort of stay off of our mark. We continue to wander around and to do things. Maybe we do things. Maybe there is some action taken. But with this hangman energy, it's not anything that gets you any closer to getting this 10 of Pentacles. Maybe you're taking some actions that'll get you 5 Pentacles, and you stay in the 5 of Pentacles, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to have the 10 of Pentacles. Why do I only have 5? And it's like, well, what else is Spirit telling you to do? If Spirit is like, okay, you got to go and clock in, and then I'll give you this money. But all you hear is, I'm going to give you this money. You're going to be waiting for a long time if you never go and clock in. And maybe that's why the 2 of Swords is the desire now. It's you wanting to do the things that will get you to receive all of this. But for whatever reason, you're not, and you may not necessarily feel capable of sustained effort towards anchoring this in. Did I read the Son of Cups? I didn't. The Son of Cups is the sacrifice. The Son of Cups in this deck, it talks about someone who is charming and has an air of mystery around them. And in this deck in particular, there's darkness within the Son of Cups, reflected in those waters. In the book, it calls it a kernel of darkness. It's that kernel of darkness that needs to be sacrificed. It's that holding on to the pain and the past narrative that you need to let go of to receive this, because whatever this is not that. And I feel like you've experienced enough of this to know that it's not that. But you haven't worked through, or you are currently working through, what you need to work through to receive it. Because before you start to work through that, it's like, again, if you're looking for a reason, you'll find one. Even like regardless of regardless of the legitimacy, you will find a reason if you're looking for one. But I feel like it's devil energy. It's not clear with that 2 of Swords. And it feels like you really want to be able to see the truth and make a clear decision. But as long as you hold on to that pain, you won't be able to. Let me read the rat. And we're coming out of the year of the rat. This is the last few days of the year of the metal rat before we head into the year of the metal ox. So rat energy is, its days are numbered. As soon as that Aquarius new moon hit, it's a whole new year. Why did from the Wiz, can you feel the brand new day? Was that after they beat Eveline? Rat, someone working against you behind your back. A sharp-eyed rat peers from its hiding place in the grass. It observes everything the querist does and looks for a chance to use it to its own advantage. This card is a warning that someone is working against you behind your back. It also advises you to be careful in what you do and say, as it could be used against you. Do not accuse anyone of being the rat unless you are absolutely sure. Otherwise, this accusation could come back to haunt you. And as I literally had just talked about you seeing things that aren't necessarily there, maybe you made a whole bunch of accusations that are coming back to haunt you. And like I was talking about with the skull, the hidden secrets, it's like there are these things within you that a lot of people can see because you haven't yet healed from them as much as it's apparent. It's observable. They may not know what's up, but they know that something is up. And especially when you start accusing people of things, and like I said, you're in this environment where people are starting to see it, but you're not, there's like no ownership on your part. Maybe it's come back to bite you in the butt. And again, like this, it's not something to beat yourself up over. With that Five of Pentacles, that is the challenge. It's to get you to see that there's more to do, more to be done. And it's time for you to stabilize and work that peace that you have found, because I feel like you found something, but it's time to work that into your foundation. It's time to work that into how you cope and deal with things instead of running to whatever that just, it's like sloppily addressing it. It's like you put a band-aid on it, but you don't clean it. So what it's doing is it's festering under the bandages, and then it stank, and you got like maggots and well, no, maggots are good because maggots would eat the dead flesh. That's why back in the plague doctor days, they would put some maggots on something and then wrap it, and the maggots would only eat what was decaying, and then it would leave everything that's still viable, right? So maybe that's an energy of death that's trying to come in, but you're fighting it because you see the maggots and you're like, ew, that's gross. Like, get them out of here. But the maggots have a job. This takes me back to, I think it was on the other channel. It was a reading I used the tea leaves. It might have been on this one, but I'm pretty sure it was on the other one. And the vulture came out. And it was the vulture and the door came out. And it was like, this decomposition is going to lead you to the new beginning. But you see this vulture and you don't allow it to do what it's in your life to do. So you don't get that rebirth energy. You're stuck at death. Last but not least is the warrior spread. I'll call it the Baron spread. The last one, the Headless Spread, didn't have a theme. Oh, wait. Hold it. Oh, the tower and the world. Yes. Oh, with the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Wands. Oh, I'm loving this. The Son of Swords and the Mother of Wands. Okay, all right. I like this. It's ending in a not too bad position. Let's see what the tea leaves say, because the tea leaves been a little rough. You listened to the Wiz last week. Oh, snap. Oh, is the emerald. You appreciate your pig now. Oh, wait. And you used to hate being the pig. Okay. I know, right? And I saw the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Wands at the cut, I think, earlier, too. The Emerald City sequence, I think that's my favorite. Sometimes I'll just be like, and if it ain't green, it better be jade, or something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Attention, citizens. Girl, red was so 5 seconds ago. We on the color yellow now. If you still wearing red, what are you doing? Hello? And like, that's how quick some of this stuff is probably changing up. And that's why it may be a little difficult to navigate the path. But again, when we do the apprenticeship of the High Priestess, we're already wearing red before they announce that the color is red. And people may be looking at you like a little bit of a hangman, like, we're on green, girl. What are you doing? And then the announcement goes off and the color is red. And you're looking at them like, what are you doing? Girl, green is so, like, half a second ago. I'm ahead of the curve. Didn't you know? I'm just playing. Okay, I'm sorry. It puts you in that position, though, where you don't have to wait for the announcement to know what the color is. The card that came out, though, is the Wall. Wall misunderstanding. I feel like this Wall misunderstanding, it's taking the energy of an apology now. After everything that's been happening, especially after the rat, which was, be absolutely sure of the rat before you go accusing people because it may come back to bite you. Here's the Wall that is the misunderstanding. It's like, oh, girl, it was a misunderstanding. Sorry, because the color was red 10 seconds ago, I thought you were 10 seconds late, but you were actually just half a second early. And it's like, yeah, we go red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow. If you were paying attention, you know the pattern by now. If you haven't seen The Wiz, you may not know what I'm talking about. But that's one of my favorite scenes from that movie. And I just be like, if it's not green, it better be jade or whatever. Yeah. Right? And then you just be like, well, who was making these rules? And why does the color change every 3 seconds? Excuse me, hello? That's because y'all playing the Hierophant game. Anyway, get on the High Priestess level and quit playing with Hierophants. Low key. Alright, I'm done. So the last spread is the Warrior spread. The themes here are Master of the Dead, Healer, Ensures Decay, Giver of Life, keeps folks above ground, Valhalla, and past life integration. Ensures Decay is important. Ensures Decay and Healer and Master of the Dead, Giver of Life. As I'm talking about the maggots and the vulture that ensures that the death happens so that the door to rebirth will be open, the maggot doesn't mean what you may think it means. That Five of Pentacles isn't happening for the reasons that you think it may be happening. It's building out, it's establishing that foundation. It's putting you in an energy to come into the 11 fully and to not go back to the previous cycle because you don't know how to handle the new one. Right? And I don't know what that movie is. I've seen that movie. I don't know why I've seen that movie. Just like I've seen Kinsey. I don't know why I've seen Kinsey. I don't know how I came across it. But it's like an amp or something. And they turn it to 11. And it's a whole thing. It's turned on 11. But they typically only go up to 10. But you're on 11. Spirit is trying to put you on that 11. But you're in the well, it only goes up to 10. It only goes up to 10. So then you dial it back to 9. And it's well, at the very least, can you stay on 10, please? Anyway, let's get into this. Wall misunderstanding came out. That's a misunderstanding in and of itself. Misunderstanding the 5, misunderstanding the maggots, misunderstanding the vulture. This ensures decay. Because if things don't decay, then there's nothing for the new stuff to grow off of. It's decay that provides the nutrients for new growth. It's the fire that clears for the new. So in this blue lunar storm year, Mimi here, in this blue lunar storm year, certain things are falling apart for a reason. And it's not falling apart for you to try to hold on to it and to bring it back. It wouldn't, with the tower, it wouldn't be falling apart if it were sturdy enough to withstand this. So oh snap. Sadhguru, he when I told you about the chakras, I was watching a whole bunch of Sadhguru at that point. It's funny that you mentioned him because I know I heard somebody else mention him maybe a week ago, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a few days ago, because I don't know what time it is. And I saw him actually pop up on my feed, and it was something like why the world needs witches, and it said something about the feminine power. I don't know. It was just the title of the video. I didn't actually watch it. I haven't watched Sadhguru in a minute, but it's interesting that you mentioned him. Maybe I'll check him out. But when it gets you on that level, something about it just resonate. That's when you know it's legit. Okay. Wings on ancient things. Like, so some of these spreads that I built, I don't like. Some things I leave a little abstract, right? So here's this one. Y'all see this number 2? Wings on ancient things. Sometimes I'm like, well, what that mean? Wings on ancient things. Excuse me? Oh, I think I actually was it new? No, it wasn't New Year. It couldn't have been New Year's because on New Year's I was watching movies with my mom. Excuse me. Maybe it was a holiday over there, and they were live streaming something, and I watched a little bit of it, and some girl was like singing or something. It was amazing. It was live streaming on YouTube, and you pictured Egyptian deities. It's interesting that you said that because Rustling Around did a sound healing video. And there was a part of the sound healing that gave me heavy Egyptian vibes. And it was like an Egyptian goddess who was just like listening as people were just like crying. And she was just there as like this comforting presence. And in some ways, her presence alone was encouraging the tears. But it was like all of the things that people just speaking of the Three of Swords, the Fool, and then the Ten of Wands, it was all of the things that people just carry around inside of them that are so heavy that they never talk about or they never express. And so it was just that the dam of those unreleased tears just broke. And I was like, oof. Now, for me personally, it didn't have that effect on me when I was listening, but that's the image that came to my mind because of that part of the song. And then there was this other energy. It's like as those waters were being released, it would switch into another tune of something that would come in and replace and replenish, rehydrate. And then it would go back into the release and then back into a rehydrate and then release and rehydrate. I don't know. It was weird. But now that I mean, look at these sinks. Mimi coming in with the sinks, girl. Yeah. I guess I'll link that video in the description box since I referenced it. If y'all curious. So with this last and final, oh, I didn't timestamp it. Almost forgot. I almost forgot. To time stamp this reading. To time tamp. The Warrior Spread. 1:08:27. So I'm gonna reread the themes for this one. Because I forgot to timestamp. The themes are Master of the Dead, Giver of Life, Ensures Decay, Healer, Valhalla, Keeps Folks Above Ground, and Past Life Integration. The Keeps Folks Above Ground part came in because it's like it protects people from passing before their time. If their time has not yet come, it keeps them alive because it is the Master of the Dead and it handles that transition. Exactly. All them sinks, they just start lining up, girl. So this tower, the tower is sitting in the space of something that was so notable, so worthy of recognition that it, like that, this is the thing that gave us that Valhalla stamp. And the Valhalla stamp, it's like the Valkyrie, it's what makes you worthy of being sent to Valhalla. This is how you prove your worth on the battlefield. It's the tower. Something that fell apart, something that you left. Maybe you were in a toxic, nasty environment situation and you got out of it, but you hold on to a lot of baggage in the space of that Three of Swords. But you don't give yourself enough credit for getting out of it in the first place. Like, And it reminds me, speaking of that love and relationships video, it's like a kind of sort of pile two energy. But it just blows my mind for people who can be in situations like that and then get out of them. Because, like, to be so far in someone's little twisted mind game world, but to be able to see something outside of that and then to have the courage and bravery to break it and to go after that. Now, if you're currently in something like that and you're still working through it or you're still getting out of it, still to like to see anything that's outside of everything that's sort of like being put into you, it blows my mind. And for me, it sort of holds a similar space to, like, even if your upbringing isn't the greatest, even if you don't have the most, like, even if you don't have access to an abundance of resources, but to dream of a better life for yourself regardless, it's like, oh my gosh. Oh snap, I've been talking about ISIS lately. I forgot about that. Oh, I don't think I knew that actually. The Nile flooded because of her tears for her husband. I talked about that recently because I think it was Set who killed Osiris and then scattered his pieces all over the world. And I was like, Set knows that his time of rule is limited, but he knew that he could extend his time by scattering the pieces of Osiris because he knew that Isis was gonna, like, Isis had the power to bring her husband back. Maybe he knew that she had that power before she knew she had that power, because before she needed to do it, she didn't know that she could do it. But in scattering his pieces, she had to find him. She had to find all the pieces, and so it took longer for that return to happen. And I feel like I mentioned it recently, earlier, when I was talking about the dream I had, when I was like, the system is about to change. She's about to get her power back. She's about to start making decisions. And it would be in your best interest to act right now, to get right now, and to get on her good side now, to repent now and make your amends now before she comes back and she starts judging people. Because if you wait until after that, it's going to be too late. And you're going to be seen as one of the people that kept her in that position. But she's putting Osiris back together and things are changing. I said, I don't know what, I can't remember the context that came out in, but well, I ain't doing that. I don't know what that means. But yeah, in the Tarot Apocalypsis, the wand suit, they're all Egyptian. And Moses is on there, but Moses is part of Egyptian history. He said, "Let my people go," and the Pharaoh said, "No," and then the plagues happened. Mhm. I think Isis is on the daughter or the Princess of Wands. The Queen of Wands is Hathor, and then the Empress is somebody else. I don't remember. But I was getting a few Isis messages because of that. Like, Queen of Wands kept popping up. First she was in reverse, and then she was upright, and then the Princess of Wands came out, and then the Empress came out, and the Empress referenced the Princess of Wands. And it was, that might have been on a self read on that channel, on the other channel. I don't remember. But we're being recognized for our ability to change. It's this. No, this spread typically, I didn't intend for it to, but it typically carries a past life energy. But this is like how sometimes I'll reference it. It was like it was a previous life in the current incarnation. Like it's a past version of myself. So you've done something already that is, the world card is sitting in the space of wings on ancient things. And with it being the world, it's almost like it's a return of a cycle that has long since been forgotten. It almost carries the energy of a myth, or of mythology. A myth. It almost carries the energy of a myth. It's something that we may hear stories of, but it's like we always thought it was a story. We always thought it was a fairy tale. We didn't necessarily think it was real. But that we didn't think it was real with the Eight of Wands and the Son of Swords. Well, you're about to find out real quick that there was indeed quite a bit of truth to that myth. And with this, it's like the Tower. It's something that you've done before that you're being recognized for. With the Eight of Swords, again, it's that energy of you've forgotten it, you can't see it. But with the Mother of Wands, you see those eggs like it's something precious that's it's within you, waiting to be reborn again, waiting to be reborn again, because now the world is in need of it. And if you can come into the fullness of it, it's going to accelerate things. And with this Son of Swords energy, it's going to cut some ties that need to be cut. It's going to limit and reduce misunderstanding. It's going to be a new truth that maybe people aren't necessarily capable of handling, accepting, integrating, because it runs counter so many things that we've known for so long. But it's going to be the exact thing that has the potential to liberate them. Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Yesterday was Light the Lunar Wizard. What did I do yesterday? Did I do any magic yesterday? No. I was just in a really good mood yesterday. I was like, I had that dream yesterday about Oregon. I don't know. It was like, yeah, like something is happening in Oregon, and it's going to completely change the way that we live our lives now. And in the dream, it's like, oh, like we all thought that would have taken place in California. I mean, it's still geographically in that area, but I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't doing it. But oh snap! Look at them. Everything it lines up. And going back to the Emerald City sequence, if you know that it's green before it's green, you'll already be wearing green before they announce it's green. But it's fluid. It's not static. And so maybe at one point, if we talk about the Wheel of Fortune, you were trying to figure that out, the Oregon part. Maybe it's like the Oregon Trail. And, oh, well, maybe it was. Because the Oregon Trail used to be something that was so difficult to navigate and to get through. But with technology now, within a few hours, you can just fly to Oregon. You ain't got to worry about dysentery or somebody has sprained their ankle. Somebody has died. It's like, they had a sprained ankle. How did they die? You were fording the river and you lost all of your food or something like that. I don't know. Trail of Tears. Ooh. Well, that came out. Oh, gosh. Well, speaking of tears. Well, if you're talking about the Trail of Tears, and if you're talking about ISIS, talking about how people have been doing stuff, oh, I don't know. That sounds a little, girl. That's why I just try to act right. I just try to act right. I just try to be right. I don't be trying to put nothing bad out there because it ain't coming back on me. It's nullified. It's canceled. It's voided. We ain't even returning negative energy back to sender. It's nullified, canceled, voided. I have no part in that. You can get that return from somebody else. It ain't coming from me. Shoot, I don't know. I don't. I just thought about that the other day. It was like I don't want to have no part. I don't want to have no part. It was also wait. The Oregon Trail was also called the Trail of Tears. So wait, is the Oregon Trail the Trail of Tears? Are there Native Americans in Oregon? Maybe not. Okay, all right. Thank you for that clarification. Because I was a little lost, as you can see. I gotta go to the bathroom. But I'm going to try to make it through this first. Wall says, look, there's the vulture. There's the vulture right above the wall. This ensures decay. I'm going to read the vulture after I go to the restroom because I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back. Actually, let me put this back. Enjoy, meditate on the cards. Take a moment to meditate and reflect on this. Hello, I hope you are able to receive whatever insights you needed to receive in that divinely guided and orchestrated bathroom break that only happened because I needed that bottle of water to clear my throat. Alright. Why did I take these off? Putting them back on. Okay. So, let's get into this. The vulture. I'm going to read the vulture first, and then I'll read the wall. The vulture is depression and anxiety, worry that someone is against you. A vulture stands on a craggy ledge surveying the scene below, waiting for an animal to die so that it may scavenge on the carcass. This card indicates that you may be going through a period of anxiety or depression, or you could be worried that people are waiting for you to make a misstep so that they can glory in your misfortune. Now, going off of depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you, in the context of that original reading, it took an energy of us fighting a death energy. And is it waiting for you to die? Maybe, but it's not necessarily waiting for you to die to celebrate. It's waiting for you to die so it can go in and do its decomposing thing so you can be reborn. It's like maggots being ancient medicine because they only eat the dead and the decaying and the bad stuff. They don't eat what's healthy. And modernly, with stuff like hydrogen peroxide and even chemotherapy, it's these things that don't discriminate what is healthy from what isn't healthy. That's why they say that you actually shouldn't put hydrogen peroxide on a cut, because while it will kill any bacteria that try to infect you, it'll also kill your own cells. But the maggot, the vulture, those natural things, they only go after what is dying. That's how they're naturally coded. And I talked about natural coding when it came to that tree. in the Princess of Pentacles story. It was a tree that naturally only those who aligned to whatever could pick from. And it was about using the laws of nature, following the laws of nature, and things like that. So you're worried of an impending tower and impending death energy, but it's happening for a reason. Right? But the wall, this is misunderstanding. A wall, tall and forbidding, cuts the landscape in two. There is no visible way around the wall. You will either have to scale the wall or breach it if you want to get to the other side. This card shows that there is a misunderstanding between you and another person or persons. It will be up to you to take the first steps towards reconciliation. So if this whole story has been resonating for you, it's up to you to take the first steps towards reconciliation. If someone else does it, it's like it would lose its impact. It wouldn't mean as much. And I pulled the Magical Dimensions Oracle cards and activators because I told y'all how much I wanted to use them. And then I forgot to use them, so I'm going to pull one now at the end. Yes. Oh, I didn't even... Girl, I didn't even think about that. When you said you celebrate the new year on a different day, I was like, I didn't even think about that changing the order of the months. But technically it would. There's things that's popping off in Aquarius. And it's carrying very much that what's it, fate, that fate stay night, fate stay, endless blade works, fate order, that whole fate series with the Holy Grail, when people's wishing for things and then it's like that, be careful what you wish for energy. Not in a bad way. I just think it's a lot more difficult than people may have initially thought. But I mean, if you're asking for a better world, then you're also asking for us to face, address, and handle what keeps our world from being that better world at the same time. So when things get dark or scary or ugly, it's not because of anything other than it's what you asked for. So that's these spreads. They all sort of formed a cohesive story. So probably, I mean, you can pick and choose one if you want. Always take what resonates. It was kind of heavy-ish, but throughout we've seen the Nine of Cups. We've seen the Son of Pentacles. We've seen the Ten of Pentacles. And so it's this energy that's like right there to be had, to be grasped. Yeah, I think there was supposed to be a third one. I think I saw that one initially, or one came out recently. Because I guess, you know, everything is like manga before it's anime. And so there was a third part. It was like Fate Zero. It's the first series, but it's like a prequel, or like there's a third one. It's Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and then there's a third one. But I don't know. And then they have so many like little spin-offs and stuff. Yeah. But I know, like, I watched one of them, and it was like in a different universe, but it was the same characters. It was weird. It wasn't weird. It was just interesting. But also, I'm like, man, okay. Anyway, let me stop talking about this. Let's clear this. We don't need... If that ain't meant to come out, that ain't, you know, whatever. Okay. So let me do this first. So that was the last one. I have a fifth spread, but I've never... I didn't build it out. So it's just positions. Maybe I should go back and finish that one of these days. Is this Gaian Awakening? Yeah. Gaian Awakening and Forgiveness are at the bottom of the deck. That's some interesting energy. There we go. My favorite card just came out. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I want to see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Magician. Hey, there's the Magician again. There we got our little infinity sign again. The Magician's paw is on the pentacle. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Bottom of the deck over here is the axe. Forces working against you. So we have the Magician, we have the axe. Axes are things that separate. The axe, oh, the tower. It was right here. The axe and the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, there's an axe pictured in the tower card. And the axe is the axe of Shiva. Shiva is the god of destruction. And so, as a god of destruction, he typically gets a bad rep, just like death would, right? Because no one likes destruction. But the axe of Shiva actually removes corruption. So the axe of Shiva has an energy that is like the vulture, that is like the maggots. So it's very much on brand. Again, it only removes corruption. So if you're afraid of Shiva's axe, what does that say about you? If it only removes corruption. I don't know. I mean, it only harm you. Okay, you can be afraid of it because it looks scary and it's intimidating. You will only be harmed if you are corrupt. It only removes corruption, right? And you can be not completely corrupt, but it still remove your corruption, right? So it's nothing to be afraid of. Unless, like, if you're 99.9% corrupt and only 0.01% good, then wouldn't be much left. But this ain't that case scenario. It's not that situation. Again, the maggots, the vulture, it's happening for a reason. The Five of Pentacles is not there to defeat you. It's there to get you to ground and establish into your foundation, to work into your root system, root chakra, a healthier way of dealing with the not great parts of life, basically. So that when you encounter the inevitable setback, it doesn't completely set you back. It's like, oh, okay, this didn't work out. Something better is going to be happening. I don't know. The card that came out is Oneness. Oneness is interesting. It's balance, patience, and divine masculine, and it's number 30. Number 30 is Hangman energy. Going back, speaking of the Hangman, I took this book out. Where did I put it? Where'd I put it? I do enjoy being able to read now. With these readers. Where did I put that book? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So, Oneness. This is balance, patience, and divine masculine again. This image is connected with the fall midnight color ray. Ooh, fall midnight. Oh, and there's a Native American dude on here. So shout out to the Buffalo and everything that I talked about yesterday. Wakinyan. Also, I didn't talk about it, but Wakinyan is also related to Heyokas. If you know anything about Heyoka, Sacred Clowns, Wakinyan is basically... So in that same video that I linked yesterday, the first half was about Tatanka, the bear, and them joining the Wankantanka. The second part was about the Heyoka. And so there were 4 brothers who were going to, like, basically chart, map the world. And so they went to the 4 corners. And the first one that they came across was the West, maybe? I don't remember. I think it was the West. All medicine wheels, I think, if I remember correctly, they may all start in the same direction, or they always have the color black. It's like some of the colors will differ by area, but there's one color that they all have in common, and it might be black. I can't remember. It's been a while. Anyway, um, they had to go into the tent of Joaquinion, to who is the thunder being, the great thunder being, Joaquinion, to map that part. And the first brother was like, "Hey, like, I know you're sleeping. Sorry to wake you." Like this big old eye opens up, and this dude is just like all kinds of discombobulated. And he's like, "We're here to map. Can I do what I need to do?" And she was like, "Yes." Oh, snap. Look at them synchronicities. Um, and so he goes and he does what he needs to do in the westernmost corner of her tent. Its tent. And then he goes to leave. And he's walking out of the tent backwards with his clothes turned out around. And then he sees his brothers and he says goodbye. And they're confused. It's like, why? Like, what is happening? And he was basically the first Heyoka, the first sacred clown, because of the interaction that he had with Joaquinion. It just like completely rewired everything in his brain. And it makes sense from the perspective that Joaquinion is the thunder being and our brains run off of electrical impulses. So it kind of, it's like, okay, well then that makes sense. It, like the system was overloaded and rewired in a different way, but now it has Gibson abilities. Anyway, Joaquinion also connects with turtles, so you can find it if you're interested. Heyokas. We have the Native American down here. The card of oneness, okay? Long story short. So, it's connected with the fall midnight color ray. Oneness resonates to the perfect balance between Earth Mother's love and Father Sky's passion. This blessed ray is attuned to the inner soul's yearning to return to divine masculine energy, balance, and integration, and its longing for restoration, passion, and assertiveness. This marks the beginning of the journey home, and the balance of yang energies can once again return to its rightful state of perfection. Regardless if you're in a male or female body, this card suggests the need to balance the divine masculine aspects within yourself and reconnect to spirit and divine unity. Recall the strength within, and your quiet power will restore you. Regain your confidence and quell the restlessness back to peaceful coexistence with all. Your situation requires expanding and expressing from the core connection within yourself and spirit. Larimar and red jasper are the companion crystals, with vetiver being the companion oil. I have a red jasper crystal that has turned, girls, ladies and gentlemen. I like never use my crystals, but I got a box set, and I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I got a few crystals. Like, let me pull them out." And the red jasper, it was like warm in my hand. It was hot, not hot. It was warm. I was like, and it's, I've never felt it be warm before. I was like, "Whoa, why is this thing warm?" And then I looked at it, and it had dark streaks in it. Now, my friend was telling me that there are certain crystals that you shouldn't store together. So, like, I got, I got like amethyst, tourmaline, black obsidian, and shungite in that same little bag. So if it got a little dark, and then I have a green calcite, a blue calcite, a yellow calcite, and a purple calcite? No, green calcite, blue calcite, red calcite, I think, and a purple calcite. And the green calcite is starting to turn a little purple. I was like, whoa, snap. Crystal's changing colors. What? Um, but yeah. Oh, snap. The drum. I was talking about the drum. Yeah, okay. Spoke about the beating of the drums yesterday. White Lunar Wizard's companion is Red Serpent. It said towards the end, Red Serpent is associated with the sacred tools of the drum and the rattle. Drums and rattles can break down old patterns or bring energy into alignment. Yeah. And that was the gift of Wakinyan. Um, when she blessed their drums and their instruments to be able to do that. Because she was so impressed. She was like, I'm impressed. Let me gift you with something. And I know on one channel, the drum has been coming out a lot lately. It's been coming out a lot. What is that song? I think it's on Welcome to the Lion's Den. No, maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember the song. I don't even remember. I don't know. It might have been in Welcome to the Lion's Den. Why can I not remember that song? I know it's not Forbidden Fruit. I feel like I've listened to that song a few times. I feel like I should know. I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. That's fine. The oneness is here. Oneness being here, it's telling us to. It said something about rebalancing divine masculine energy, and it takes me again back to Shades of You, the Valley of Judgment. And there was a part where the Emperor came out, and I was like, oh snap, the Emperor is lit. He's blessed by the Empress. You see the Ankh. The Ankh can't be taken. The Empress has to give the Ankh to the Emperor. And then, quite some time after that, the Empress came out, and I was like, okay, so the Emperor done goofed, and the Empress has come to take her Ankh back. And then the Five of Swords came out, and I was like, oh snap, yeah, she's coming to take her Ankh back. And then the Ten of Swords came out, and I was like, okay, well, she got it. So, and then I had that dream last night about, it was about Britney Spears and the conservatorship, but I remember, again, it extrapolated back to the Empress and how the Empress and divine feminine energy has been sort of subjugated. And I don't remember, it was probably about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, when I was like, it feels like when this Empress energy speaks, because in the SKT, the dragonfly is over her mouth, it's covering her mouth, and it's like her mask or whatever. But I was like, when she speaks, the whole world is going to respond. Like the earth itself is going to respond to her voice. And so divine masculine energy needed to get right before she makes her verdict. Because justice is also depicted typically as a woman. So, and the Hierophant is typically depicted as masculine. What's at the bottom of the deck? The bottom of the deck is emotional freedom, number 12. It's vulnerability, flowing, and rebalancing. So here's another energy of balancing. Rebalancing with divine masculine energy and emotional freedom. It's time for him to jump into all of the things that society, especially here, our Western society, has deemed as for girls or girly, right? Men aren't societally given I guess, like full access to their emotions, but I'm gonna be emotional, and if you call me a punk or a sissy or whatever, like I'm not gonna poison myself just because that's what y'all out here doing. No, I'm good. I pass. I'd rather be outcasted. Thanks. Bye. This is connected with the true blue color ray. The true blue. Couldn't believe he wasn't dead. Wait. What? Yeah! I remember that. Wait, Michael Jackson was in your dream last night. You couldn't believe he wasn't dead. Okay. Yeah, I was like, Michael Jackson 2030. What the world is that? Emotional freedom reminds me of the Utopia card in this deck. Vulnerability, flowing, and rebalancing. This image is connected with the true blue color ray. Emotional freedom resonates to emotional balance and harmony. Only by revealing true, raw emotions can healing and rebalance take place. Excuse me. Allowing the expression of emotions to the fullest in a safe environment will allow catharsis and lasting harmony. Accepting this will carry forth a wave of understanding at deeper levels, and this will assist in allowing further expansion and growth. You may be feeling emotionally unstable. Sharing your emotions with yourself or others may be scary, but it will help you release them and rebalance your energies. Focus on restoring harmony to your emotional center. Engage in self-loving acts to help you restabilize. Taking sea salt baths will help detox your emotions. Sometimes being vulnerable and open is for our greatest good for growth. Once we release, our stability is regained. Blue aragonite and desolite and decolite are the companion crystals here, and blue chamomile is the oil. So there may be some divine masculine energy in your life who need to just let all them emotions go. I mean, the Four of Wands did come out with the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles and some other cards. There was a little bit of Hangman energy there, but eventually he'll get it together. Maybe not. If that's what you're going to take from this, then take it from this. This is just divine masculine energy in general that needs to allow itself all of the things that it's been depriving itself of because of whatever reason it's been convinced to. And to continue to not do that is to continue to keep it out of alignment with where it needs to be to work more harmoniously with divine feminine energy, and to essentially in some ways depolarize that duality to allow pure divine energy, or to give birth to pure divine energy. It's almost like when divine feminine, going back to the Magician, the Empress, and the Seven of Swords, from the end of the previous reading. I don't think I titled it yet. Actually, I did title it. I don't remember what I titled it. But it was like their child. And I was like, well, what's the child of the Empress and the Emperor? Well, in some ways, when divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy come together, they give birth to a whole divine being. A being that has both divine feminine and masculine energies inborn within it. It allows divinity in its purer, less polarized nature to begin to exist and to do whatever it needs to do. Because it probably also has a job to do. But, I mean, y'all not getting it together. That's a general y'all. Not getting it together keeps it from doing what it needs to be doing. Potentially. Always take it as it resonates. Who am I? What do I know, right? Like, wait till the summer. We having a pool party, y'all. It's free admission. There's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff there that you want. Put a little salt in the water. Push me in. So I'm gonna get some final messages. I kind of love this for this because that's what that Three of Swords energy that came out in the beginning, without it really being worked through, it's time for somebody to be real honest, real vulnerable. And if you are taking this as you're a DM and you're waiting for your DF or vice versa, whatever, the important part was the safe environment. There needs to be a safe environment for this to happen. And if that environment doesn't exist, then it doesn't put him in a position to do what it is that he needs to do. That's the thing about cooperation. You can't really keep tabs. So, yes, yes, yes. Or are we just talking about energies in general? Right? Is this the bottom? Okay, it is the bottom. Who this? Oh, this is a close-up dog. What the close-up dog got to say? The dog close-up is pleasure with a close friend. Aww, that's cute. That's cute. Alright, I'm going to get the final card out of this first, and then I'll move over to the Wild Unknown, and then I'll do the Tea Leaf Oracle before I shut this down. This wasn't necessarily as happy and bright as I was expecting, but if it's necessary, it's necessary. And all of that stuff is possible. It's just we're coming in the space now where we need to claim it. And if you've done the healing, if you've done some work, it'll be easier to open up and be vulnerable. and it'll be easier to take responsibility. And hopefully you are also dealing with someone else who can take responsibility, and we can just chalk it up to a misunderstanding. No need to hold on to hurt feelings, especially if we've healed, they've healed, and we can move forward in the future. Right? There's no need to keep score. Oh my gosh, my favorite card just made another appearance. Oh snap! Okay, this is mildly cute. Okay, this is mildly cute. Oneness came back out, y'all. Oneness came out again, but behind oneness this time is the promise. So now the divine masculine, balanced and patient, is coming through with the promise. It's a 38, which is another 11. So shout out to the number 11 again. The promise is soulmates, attraction, and partnership. I mean, it says soulmates, attraction, and partnership. So while I did try to also generalize that divine masculine energy, it did come out with soulmates, attraction, and promise, or partnership. 38. This is connected to the scarlet pink color ray. The promise resonates to the magic of love and soul-to-soul connectivity. This ray encompasses the highest levels of love that stretch the bounds of purity and divine love. At this high frequency of love, there exists the exalted versions of honor and connection, and the highest achievements of service are activated and carried forth into the expanses of time and space. I don't think I've ever seen that kiss before. Oh my gosh, that's him! That's him! I'm gonna show y'all this in a minute, but that's him! That's him! Oh, snap. You have attracted someone, or soon will be, who is very special to you, and they will impact you in a dramatic way. Now is the time for you to truly love yourself, fully and completely, from the highest levels of honor and purity, so you can prepare for the expansive love upgrade. A love relationship may also require your attention. This is also foretelling of good fortune for a successful business partnership aimed at the highest levels of spiritual service. Diamond and rhodochrosite or rhodochrosite are the companion crystals with Bulgarian rose as the companion essential oil. Fourth ray sub. Wait, what's fourth ray sub? Scarlet pink color ray. What's fourth ray sub? What fourth ray sub mean? What's at the bottom of the deck? Oh, this is what I was gonna show y'all. Okay, it ain't completely the same, but y'all see he wearing a headdress. Oh wait, there we go. You see he wearing a headdress down there, and the promise where they're kissing. On the right side, it looked like a little bit of a red headband. That okay, maybe I'm just seeing things, but it looked like a little bit of a red headband that may lead up into a headdress, but maybe not. Anyway, I was like, wait, is that the same person? Bottom of the deck is Exiled, which is illusion of separation, disconnect, and isolation. Top of the deck is Awakening, ancient knowledge, memories, and connection. So here's the illusion of separation, disconnect. So disconnect at the bottom of the deck. And at the top of the deck is connection with awakening. So in this period of being exiled, hopefully you continued and they continued to continue on your own awakening journeys. Your awakening journeys, while it may sort of involve other people to some degree and to some extent, it should not be focused on or predicated upon them also doing it with you, right? Your awakening journey should be something that you're capable of doing with and without the people who are on it. Because, and it takes me back to, I think maybe it was the 9 of Wands. I talked about it, I believe, yesterday. It was the 3 of Wands. It was the 3 of Wands in the Wild Unknown Tarot. the part of the story where the hero goes on their own journey. When their friends aren't allowed to come, all they have is the lessons that they've learned and the wisdom and guidance that they've received up until that point. Reds are first rays. Oh, okay. Well, Scarlet is... Oh, Scarlet Pink. Yeah, first ray. Okay. That makes sense. Dun, 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 dun. Seven of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords in this deck has come to me to mean something that we get when we're deserving of it. So there's a little bit of a space of proving. Once you've proven yourself, then the fox will release that seventh sword, and you don't have to worry about not having this Ten of Pentacles. Again, there's still the stuff that you need to do, traumas that you need to work through, secrets that you gotta face so that you can stop working against you and stop being in your own way. So I guess bottom of the deck is the Devil. Top of the deck is the Four of Swords. Or the card that came out is the Four of Swords. With the Five of Wands there. This Four of Swords, it takes me back to... I think it was earlier. The Four of Swords came out, and it was blocked by... Was it the Two of Pentacles? It might have been the Two of Pentacles. It might have been a different card. Towards the end, I think, of the last video. And... green is dead. The color is red. I said that was us. Yeah, that was when I pulled that Celtic Cross-ish thing. Because the King of Swords was at the end. And I was like, the King of Swords is all swords all the time. And the Four of Swords... If we get lost in it, and we might be because the Devil is at the bottom of the deck, it's us being... It's like we think that we're over our heartbreak. We think that we're over what went wrong in the past with that Three of Swords energy. But when we're stuck in the Four of Swords, it's like we're not so over it that we can continue living life. Because we fear the Five. We get stuck between the 3 and the 5. We don't continue moving, and then we start to stagnate. And stagnant air is suffocating. If you don't get any fresh air, you're going to use all of the oxygen in that air. And it may be a fairly slow process, but eventually you're going to need some kind of freshness in there. Or you'll suffocate. And how do you suffocate when nothing is restricting your ability to be able to breathe? Like, no one's choking you. No one's forcing you to stay in this room. No one is keeping your windows and your doors closed. This is a Four of Swords. That's a choice. Oof. But maybe, you know, like you come in to recognize that and then you decide to make a different choice. And the world is scary. And the longer you stay inside, probably the scarier the world is, because then you're like, instead of just being, oh, I've been in the house for a day. Oh my gosh, I wonder what's happened. You're like, I've been in the house for 18 years. Who knows what's out there? Prolonging it only makes it more difficult, unfortunately. So, we just entered the Red Skywalker wave spell. Luke. I'm just playing. What's the Red Skywalker about? I don't even remember the wave spells. So the card that came out is the Gong. This is an exciting event. Bottom of the deck is the Butterfly. This is a change for the better. Oh my gosh, a change for the better. And an, oh. A change for the better in an exciting event. And the cards just... Okay. Maybe somebody got butterflies in their stomach and they're trying to say something, but then they get too nervous. Maybe this is you. What's all this? What all this is? Crescent Moon in Capricorn now. Ambitious surrender. What does that mean? What is ambitious surrender? I don't know. That sounds like something that divine masculine energy is about to do. So only one card actually made it onto the floor, and all of that excitement. Let me make sure I'm not missing any other cards because I'm not trying to have incomplete decks around here. Is the vine. Seek out information that will help you. Okay. I heard it through the grapevine. What you hear on the grapevine? Okay. I actually just saw the vine. I saw the vine when I went looking for the wall. It's above the vulture, I think. Yeah, the vine is above the vulture. Seek out information that will help you. A green vine grows in tangled circles. Its leaves are green and full, and it is just beginning to blossom. This card indicates that there is information that would be of great help to you, but you must seek it out. This information will not be revealed to you without great effort on your part. And then an exciting announcement. Girl, I forget what was at the bottom of the deck, but I think it was more good news. The gong. This is an exciting event. A man stripped to the waist beats a heavy brass striker against a large ornate gong. Something noteworthy is about to happen. This symbol foretells of an exciting event in store for you. That's interesting. And under the gong is grapes, and grapes grow on the vine, right? So let's see what grapes are about. I mean, since it's right there. I mean, I already closed the book, so, but still. What's the grapes about? The grapes that grow on the vine. Time to go out and have fun. A large bunch of succulent, ripe purple grapes hang from a vine, just waiting to be picked. This symbol advises you that you need a break from everyday routines. It is time to go out and have some fun. Okay, work. That's fine. I've been feeling that. I think I've talked about it. It's not a feeling of anticipation. It feels like something big is about to happen. But it feels like this something big, it's like I feel like I'm gearing up to do something big. Something that's going to require a lot from me, but in the best ways. And last year, every time I would enter this realm of feeling, I would get really impatient. And this year, I'm not as antsy and impatient. So I'm just, I'm going to keep doing what I need to do in the moments. I'm going to keep focusing on me and honestly, I'm kind of just chilling and having fun right now. I'm catching up on anime. I'm playing video games. I ain't been able to play in a minute. I am still, so I'm like doing my job search thing as well. I'm being more proactive in those areas. But not ultimately, but it took a while for me to get reaccustomed to not being like super, like not working all the time. It took a while for me to be able to unwind and have fun, but now that I'm here, I'm almost acting like I forgot how to be productive. Red Skywalker, time space traveler. Oh, that's interesting. Angelic messenger, courage, new directions, mysterious journey, explorer, fluid reference points. Skywalker, pillars of heaven, compassion. It's the 13th signature. Cardinal signs Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, 3rd and 9th houses. I just looked at what was that, 25 to 26 degrees? So that's a 7 or an 8. The Sabian symbols for that cross were for Aries, 25 to 26 degrees. It was more gifts than you can hold. Cancer was happiness and contentment and luxury, readers on Davenports. Libra was a an eagle, and a large white dove turning into each other, and then Capricorn was a water sprite. So that was interesting. I was like, oh snap. But the only energy sitting there is Pluto and Capricorn. But third and ninth houses, I got my nodes. No, my nodes are in the second and the eighth houses. JK, lol. I don't know. I don't know why I always think my nodes are in the third and the ninth. Happiness. Happiness is the card that's going to be at the top of this little stack over here. There was a card left in here that I didn't even notice. And the card is the horseshoe. Good luck. Look, we got good luck. We got an exciting event. We got some information. So there's something that you need to seek out. But you're blessed with luck and good fortune as you seek these things out. Maybe there was something that you were seeking that you found, and now it's time for you to strike the gong and announce something. I don't know. Here it is. I was like, what am I looking for? I don't know. All right. I think that was all of the decks. Yep, that's all of the decks. So I'm going to go now. It was fun, Mimi. Sinks always flowing like water, like tears down the Nile. I'm just playing. I hope y'all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make it even better. To make what? Yeah, I hope you're acting in alignment to make it even better. Also, I hope that you are behaving and thinking in ways, transforming in ways that will lead for that which you wish to experience to happening in your reality more and more, or whatever. And I know that life is hard and things are difficult sometimes, but the only thing that really makes it or them any easier is handling them and addressing them. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Kind of sort of like, how do you get a job if you need experience? But to get experience, you have to have the job. The trick in that, I guess, is you find the ways in which you already have experience and you communicate them in a way that lets your prospective employer know that you have that experience, and then you get the job to get different experiences or to build upon those experiences that you already have. There's something that you have that's more applicable than you may believe it to be, because again, that tower did come out in the past, a previous life of the current incarnation. You've done something, you've done enough to have a more solid foundation in whatever this is than you think you do. You just have to think of it, contextualize it in that way. And maybe that's the vine. If you go looking for it, you'll find out that you're actually better off than you may think that you are. So that's what I get. No problem, no problem. I'll catch y'all later. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe later today. Probably not later. Wait, what's today? Saturday? Sunday. Today is Sunday. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. I'm expecting some goodies that, yeah, I'm getting a new deck. So I'll be back to pull from it. It's an Oracle deck, though. And I already have the tarot deck that I know I want to use with it. So that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to go through and pair my Oracle decks up with my tarot decks, so I know what to use when I approach a certain topic. Like for the heavy hitters, I use the SKT. Like if it's really heavy, if I feel like having a headache while I'm pulling cards, I use the SKT. Now I can use, I think, the Tarot Apocalypsis as well. I think the Tarot Apocalypsis is pretty versatile though, because I think it can go as deep as the SKT or somewhere around there, but it can also do a lot more surface stuff. The Wild Unknown, I love. The Witch's Tarot. I got different ones that mean different things, but now that I have the Affirmators Love and Relationship cards, I'll just use the Affirmators Tarot and those love and relationship cards if it ever becomes a thing. So I guess I need to get more familiar with that deck in terms of love and relationships. Because in the past, I would use the Wild Unknown because that's the only deck I had for a minute. And so I learned to read some of that into it. So, anyway, ramble aside, now that I've ended this video, it's time to really end this video. And yeah, I'll put the timestamps in the description box. And I don't know. I just really, really wish the best for y'all. You know what I mean? Life is hard. Why not make it easier by doing something that's challenging and hard in the moment, that requires a lot of courage and bravery in the moment, but that will provide stability and a foundation for abundance and more later. So it's your life, you know? Make the choices that you want to make to get where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, the only person that can really make some of those choices, it's not the divine, it's you. You can pray for and manifest all kinds of opportunities, but if you never take them, then, you're the person who's stuck on the roof because the waters get higher and higher when the boat and the helicopter and the ships and everything else try to get you to not drown. I don't want to end it like that. You don't have to. The way will be made. It just requires the courage and bravery to take it. There you go. I can end like that.